Hey guys, welcome to another video. This is still part of the program and I hope you have been enjoying it. Let's see if I can get the crown in the picture here. So, what we're going to talk about today is just another exercise, the interview process, okay? We touched on this in the beginning of the program because it was kind of this interview process. I believe I talked about this where, it's helping us get into our memories, our past, our history on the shadow work side, right? Because it's our mental, it's how we view, how we think, how we talk, what we believe about our childhood, right? So that's at the beginning. But now that we're towards the end, we've been doing all this work. We're trying to wrap it up. We're trying to fully get the good out of it. And in order to do that, like I said, you have to do the mood boosters from the last video. And this is another way to boost your mood that I did not mention in that video, but it's also a way to just keep on going with them. It's like a mantra. And what I love about doing the interview, which basically you just do like a fake interview. Again, in the beginning of the program, it was like, oh, pretend, one of your best friends or some candid comedian type of person is asking you, like how you feel about your childhood. And it gets you going. It gets you to open up. It gets you to kind of, especially the candid part and making a joke, being sarcasm part about it, kind of helps you to talk about, the bad things, the trauma maybe that happened to you, even in a lighthearted manner, which is a good way to get into it. You know what I mean? And it's a good way to kind of just, when you're open up and you just kind of let yourself talk, sometimes you don't even know what comes out. It's just like your body knows it needs to get something out. Your mind doesn't necessarily know it, but it just lets it out. And it helps you to process things as you talk sometimes as well. So there's numerous benefits to doing this. And it's really important, I think, to do at the end to kind of wrap it up, tidy up the loose ends, and like pull it all together for your own self. And when you talk about your story in this way, you are solidifying it. And this is how we solidify it negatively. If we're not doing it positively, we do this negatively, because we do talk about our past, we do talk about our beliefs and our expectations, and we talk about what's happening. And a lot of what people talk about is complaining. Oh, my mom always did that to me. Oh yeah, people love to talk. They love to talk about themselves. It's therapy. So make sure that the stories that you're telling yourself are good. So if you have, some people are fine talking to themselves. Like I talk to myself all the time and I love it. But if you're not one of those people, and even, I find it's really good to record a lot of stuff like this, and even record my shadow work and the inner child healing, because you can pick up on a lot of things when you rewatch it, and it can give you an opportunity to write things down as well, to kind of hold on to what you want and then ditch what doesn't, get the good and move on. And it helps you to remember and to revisit, which is what it's all about. Because remember, it's remember, so you got to do the initial remembering. Then you have to reframe, okay? And then you have to revisit. And you have to revisit. You have to keep on revisiting, because you've already revisited that initial trauma, memories, bad memories, whatever, way of life that you've lived that a million times already, especially if it was way back in your past. Even if you haven't consciously done it, you still are living it out. It's your reality. And this is creating your new reality. And you can visualize it as, you can do it as just talking to yourself, or if you are fine with that, or if you want to make it a little bit more easygoing, you could, again, pretend that you are getting interviewed by a friend, by anybody, a biographer, I don't know, like whatever works for you, okay? So basically, it just really helps you to kind of open up. And sometimes, like I said, you start rambling and then you're like, oh my gosh, revelation, and then you're like, write that down. Oh yeah, got the video on, good deal. Okay, so you just ask these questions. You can ask questions, or you can just say, I'm going to tell this, I'm just going to tell the story. Okay, and you're just going to basically kind of just talk it out. I like to honestly just talk about the process, kind of like I talk with you guys. And then sometimes I'll post it, sometimes I'll take notes on my own work that I'm doing, and then make another video about that, which is actually what I'm doing now. I just watched a video where I was on my walk and I'm talking to myself, and I was talking about my process and my healing, and that's how we're getting this video. Okay, so your thoughts and your feelings and everything are going to evolve on this process as well. So again, that's kind of why I like recording it, because then you can listen to it later as well. You can listen to it while you're driving, while you're going to sleep, when you wake up, when you have a spare moment. Like, it doesn't matter. And then later you can go back and revisit it and say, oh, well, okay, so I was in my, my initial stages, and when I said this, some negatives slipped in, or, I had this still erroneous thinking, and now I'm getting even better, and so I'm going to cut that out, and I'm going to redo the video maybe next month, or maybe, the week after that. Okay, so it's going to change. So it's just really opportunity for you to be raw and real, and whenever you start saying things, you're actually putting it out into the universe, even more than just a thought. Okay, so it's deeper, it resonates, it's like real vibration. It's action. It's that first step in taking your thoughts into actions, is speaking them. So it's very, very powerful. It's why it's called spelling, because we're casting spells. Okay, we're all witches and wizards, whether we want to, understand that and embody that and live that out or not. Okay, so it is energy. It's another form of energy, and it takes it to the next level, or a lot of next levels. Okay. So again, you can help to refine, you can help to evolve, you can watch it back, critique yourself, say, oh, no, that slipped out, that old thought. And sometimes you say those transition mantras. I talked about this in other law of attraction videos that are on my playlist. In the very beginning, you'll be saying, oh yeah, things are great. Like, this is how it is now, or this is what happened, and this is, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh. Then you'll slip in, you'll be like, oh, shit. Well, you'll say something like, oh, I no longer do this, and this is what I do that. And so when you watch it back, you can tell that you're still close, you're still beginning. But again, later, you're not even going to say that. You're going to be like, oh, I've been doing this forever now. I love this, whatever. You get the point. I hope you can understand what I'm talking about. I know it's a little bit late and I'm kind of rambling off. And these are pretty deep concepts here too. So if you're keeping up, be proud. Okay. So yeah, just revisit, listen to these things. Again, I like to record it so I can listen to it. You could write it out. You could just say it over and over again, however you want to do it. Okay. But it's very important. And again, you might have those little negative things pop up and you might want to redo it. That's fine. But basically, again, just tell your story. Okay. You can tell your story in the concept of, you just did the shadow work and this is what happened. Or really what you want to do when you get into the inner child healing, what you really want to do, and here's the ultimate part of it, how to do this. After you do your inner child healing and you're boosting your mood, you're bringing yourself back up to the higher vibrations after kind of sinking a little bit lower, and you're trying to really boost on the positives, right? You're trying to fill yourself up with these positives. So your number one thing is to retell the story of your past to yourself. Now, you don't have to totally change your past. It's not necessarily about lying to yourself. You can't really change the things that necessarily happened to you, but you kind of can in a way. You can change how you react to them, how you think about them. So you might say, okay, so like your story might have been like, okay, you had this trauma and then or you were neglected and then nobody was there and it caused you this problem, and you just go, when you think about that child work, you go back to that negative feeling. And so that's how, obviously we've already talked about how to do the inner child healing work. So you're back there at that time, but now instead of focusing and feeling on those thoughts and those emotions and how you felt at that time, remember, your person came in, whether your person is your mother, yourself, your father, Jesus, whoever, coming in, and just like filling up your love cup, building you up in every way, shape, or form. Those are the things you want to remember. Those are the things, it's like a mantra to tell yourself this happened. Now you can do it more mentally and say it to yourself. Or if it works better for you just to visualize all of this, it doesn't have to be, and it can be both. You could write it down and read it if you enjoy reading that much. Or, again, watch the video over and over and over, and it really helps you. And you're starting to build on this. You're starting to really feel it. You really got to feel it. You can't just visualize and say, oh, this happened. Da, da, da. No, it's got to be deep, and you got to feel that love that person gave to you. And all the ways, remember, all the 5 senses, okay? All the 4 elements. You go through them all, okay? And once you get good, you'll just be able to rattle them off. You may have to read it to yourself at first and then listen to it 20 times if it's that hard, for you. And you can sing it. You can again listen to it. You can write it. You can just talk. And again, you can talk to whoever. You could be talking to your best friend on the phone that, you haven't talked to forever, and you're just updating them on your life. And then you happen to just talk. But so you're going to the past, to the inner child healing. You're telling your story, your deep story, like if you were going to tell like a memoir or something. And then you keep going, and you just touch on all the things. Now that it's like, now that you're healed, now that you've healed your inner child healing work, what's going to change in your life? And it's basically just like the top, I would say, 1 to 3 or 4 things that you really want to change in your life. So, that it could be the top, whatever. That's enough. The top things that you want to change in your life. And usually it's going to be around maybe money, or, receiving love from your partner or from your kids, or just feeling, gratitude. I mean, if you boil it down, it usually all comes down to like respect and love and just being there. Really is what it is. But it's whatever you want. And again, it's you want to get into the details, and you want to tell the story like it's real. So, now that I did this healing work, we're doing this, or now my kids are just like listening so well. They're giving me so much love. They're so respectful. It's like, and again, in your first video, right after this happens, you may be like, it's a whole different world. All of a sudden, everything just changed, and that's like your transitional mantra, okay? But after a few weeks out of this or something, then you can cut out that transitional mantra, and you can get even more detailed into, what you are seeing, what you want to see out of people or out in your life, okay? That again is the advantage of having this documented, whether it's written or whether it's a video, so that you see the video and you're like, oh, let's watch this. Or you, again, make it a habit when you first wake up to start your intention like this, okay? And it's just really great. You want to really get into detail with it too. You don't just want to say, oh, now like everything's fine, everything's great. Like that's not, it's kind of like The Secret. This is our visualization. Instead of visualizing the car, shallow shit basically, we're going to visualize this deep stuff. We're going to go through again all of the thoughts, all of the emotions, all of the actions, all of the habits, okay? When you go through your thoughts, you're going to, think about how confident you feel. Talk about how confident you feel. How your beliefs are just so totally different now. You just feel so good now. You wake up and you feel amazing. You're so enthusiastic. You're just behaving. Your habits are totally different. You've solidified these new habits. You're getting these results. Okay? Your body, you feel better. You look better. You smell better. Like everything. Every little thing. Whatever it is for you. Whatever you want to see. This is totally personal to you. Okay? So it's about, your mind, your emotions, your body, your actions, and also, of course, what you're getting out of life. So your daily life, your routines, your level of freedom, your environment, your physical environment, your feng shui, your vocational, your occupational, your job, your social energies, your reputation, the way people react to you, the way people treat you, your achievements, all of this, your mission, being on point, being on mission. I'm so happy now that I figured out my mission, and now that I'm working on my mission with my twin flame, yada, 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 okay? These are perfect things to focus on. Think about how many negative thoughts we have a day, and that's what we're creating with our reality. And if you could get yourself to think this stuff as much as or more than your other stuff, your other negative thoughts, imagine. You're so powerful. You will change your life this way. This is the way to do it. This is really how we manifest, even when we're conscious or not. Okay, so take advantage of it or don't, and you can lose out. You can miss out. But also, you can go through the 5 love languages again. I've talked about this a couple times, maybe even in this exact video. But I just want to be thorough, make sure I'm covering all my bases, dotting all my I's, and crossing all my T's. Okay, so you're going through again with the words. What are people saying to you? What are you thinking? What are you thought? What do you wake up and think every day? What do you think about this? And a lot of it can be like, just reframing the way you see things. So like, instead of being like, oh, I hate this job, I have to be here, I don't even really want to be here. Oh, I'm learning so much at this job that I know that I'm going to be able to use in the future when I get on my mission. You know what I mean? This job is really setting me up to be, financially stable enough to start my mission, and blah, blah, blah. Like, whatever it is for you. Okay. Going to touch. Again, we're looking at the 5 love languages. So words of affirmation, physical touch. So you can talk about getting a massage. You can talk about the massage that your, partner's giving you. You can talk about the great love making that you're doing. You could talk any of that sort of stuff. You can talk about how great it is that your dog is cuddling with you. Like, whatever you're manifesting, whatever you want, truly bliss wise, like not superficial bullshit. Okay. Gifts, again, I would do like deeper, like emotional gifts, like really comforting. I love the comforting gifts. Maybe it's just the Cancer in me, but you can do gifts, and some gifts, like even like a ring. Like, I would say the number one gift that a female would want from her partner is a ring, right? What's the symbology of that? It's not just on one level, okay, we can say, yeah, that's like totally shallow, whatever, but it also has to do with the original function of jewelry, and why jewelry is art. And this was one of the first art that there ever was, if not the very first art, was some kind of beads and jewelry that people could wear so that they could help identify like extended members of their tribe. And it helps you to know who your tribe is. I just have chills right now. So a ring or a necklace or some earrings, things that you wear, even clothes, again, comforting things, whatever. But the robes and the stuff that you might wear on a regular everyday basis is kind of like, especially a ring, because a ring like has that symbology. You know what I'm talking about. That engagement ring, like that has that symbology of, that's my person. Like, I got somebody who's here for me. This is my tribe. I'm supported. I'm loved. Yada yada yada. Okay. So the gifts can be deep, even if you might not think about it in that way. Okay. Again, acts of service. Totally. My kids are doing chores all the time. My partner, he, does this for me. And, it's about the feeling too. So don't get too caught up in exactly, what's going on, but just kind of, again, sometimes just letting it flow and seeing what comes out is some of the best things. Then you can really learn a lot about yourself while you're talking. Again, whether you're actually doing this with somebody else there or not, like, it doesn't matter. Tell your story. And it's like, when you do have conversations with other people, keep this in mind and realize that you're not going to speak anything out. Again, spelling, you're not going to speak anything out that you don't want to continue. Okay, so do not be a complainer. That's very, very, very bad habit to get into. Okay. Oh, my partner just washed my car for me, just out of the blue, made me feel so good. Could be something. Sometimes the little things are the best. Oh, my partner just, gave me a massage, just gave me a little massage, and I didn't even ask for it. I was watching TV. It's so sweet. Oh, you know what I mean? Or like the worst chore that you don't want to do. Oh, my partner washed my dog for me. I'm so excited. Or, whatever. Okay. So again, these can be deeper than just, oh, they're doing stuff for me. You know what I mean? Like, so I can be lazy and busy, but no, that's not what it's about, right? Okay. Pure intentions, right? And then, so the last love language would be time. So this one's the best. Well, not the best, but this one really comes down to a lot of people who have like neglect issues, because with neglect, it is something that happens over time. It's not like one simple trauma that happened. So that's something that's a little bit more abstract, because time is a construct. It's a little more hard to identify, to be able to how to deal with this. Okay. I've been through this with my own shadow work. So basically you can, this is actually where this whole idea came from, is because it was so difficult for me to get emotional about the inner child healing, which is supposed to be all emotional anyway. But it's like, how do I get emotional when there wasn't just one time in my life where I had this negative feeling of being neglected? It's like a slow buzz over time, and you can't put your finger on exactly when that first time was. So you don't know what you needed. You can't identify what time and what you needed at that time. Then you can't identify how to, where your healing person can come in and help you. And for me, it would be Mama C, me, so that's why I decided, it was like, I think last weekend, when I think I did a video about it then too. But it was like, this is why the interview really helps, and talking it out like this really helps, because it's telling a story rather than just, oh, this one time feeling, if that makes sense. So, you know, the healing side of it is that way as well. Okay. So it's like, so and so, you know, and again, you're going through all of these things, and you can remember you're doing it first for your past, but you're doing it secondly for your present. So first you're going to go through and have your person, or for me again it would be Mama C, going through all of these things, telling me the words that I want to hear. Write those down, and or again, listen over and over. Tell yourself those things over and over. Okay, you could have different videos. You could have a long video for when you have time to really, or you want to meditate kind of while you listen to it. Or you can have a short video that's just like, hey, quick reminder, or even a little note, post-it notes here and there, you know, post-it note challenge, whatever, with the words and the phrases. And that, again, that's your mantras that you stick with, okay? But it's not only are you telling yourself this now, but your past person is telling you this when you needed it. Okay, so you can identify, even if you're just neglected over time, you can sort of, even if you can't remember an exact moment and it's just kind of this blur, you know what I mean, over time, then you still know, like you can still figure it out. You still have a feeling about it. So again, you're telling the story, and the feeling is more like, okay, Mama was there for me over time, you know, and we had all of this, we had all of these other ones over time. Okay, we had that quality time. And we kept on having that quality time. And again, this is something it's got to sink in. You've got to tell yourself this stuff, or listen to it, or read it, or whatever, over and over and over again. Okay. So again, the work gets better. When you first start out, it's a little painful. Okay. But then it builds you up. And when you rebuild, when you build again, when you build yourself up after the inner child healing work, you are rebuilding your thoughts and expectations and beliefs, and it's affecting your emotions, and of course this is going to affect your actions, which of course is going to bring you your pentacles habitual energy. Okay, I really hope you guys are getting a lot out of this program. We're almost done. I'm going to have some other programs in the future. I already know it. We might do one on health, because that was the initial, you know, book and program that I was ever going to do anyways. If you guys have a preference on what you want next, definitely let me know. And I definitely want to do one more specific to twin flames. So if I have any other ideas on down the road, we might do a follow-up, get deeper into the inner child healing, maybe just make it, you know, as I learn, as I grow, all of this stuff, get better at it at myself, right? Okay, so that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Much love. Many blessings. Catch me at KlaireeBerry.com to get the prices for any type of product or service that I'm offering, whether it's direct unlimited lifelong coaching club, private readings and consultations. I have half an hour ones and hour-long ones. I always go over. So I think that's about it right now. Also, yeah, anything else that I come up with will be on there. So I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Love you. Bye.